this is obviously just a little bit unique, but I think it's important. I mean, I need to feel that way as well.
Yeah.
This is truly the moment where you guys will promise to be husband and wife one another and be without. And that really is a beautiful thing. And I know it's a smaller crowd, but we do celebrate with you. And this is a celebration of God's marriage together. So I'm going to offer a prayer. I'll try not to be too formal and yet somewhat formal. But let me offer a prayer first. God in heaven, this truly is a moment to behold, and it's a holy moment. It's a moment set apart, given by you to Jonathan and Sheri and all of us here, and in a sense to the broader family and friends that aren't here today. And we just want to remember them, especially Sheri's dad and mom, and her whole family, and the rest that in many ways are witnesses to this moment as well. We invite your presence. We invite you to give Jonathan and Sheri just calm and peace, and sense now your presence with them. In Christ's name I pray. Let me read just the 3 verses that you guys so picked as good context for this time. And I changed the order just a little bit. The first one is from Matthew 19:4-6, and this is where Jesus is speaking to the Pharisees that are questioning him about marriage and how important it was. And part of his reply is this: "Haven't you read," he replied, citing for Genesis, "that at the beginning the Creator made them male and female, and said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh, one body. And so they are no longer two but one. Therefore, what God has joined together, let man not separate." And that idea of being separate from your families of origin and being able to form your own family is really, really important. So I like that. Then in John, 1 John 4:7-12 speaks about love, which is the kind of the heart and cornerstone of marriage. And God's kind of love. "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love, not that we love God first, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God, but if we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is made complete in us. We are the perfection of God's love. We are the showpiece of God's love." And then in 1 Corinthians, the famous one that Paul wrote, "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps absolutely no record of wrongs, it forgives. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." Let me just comment a little bit more. Okay, the first one, 1 Corinthians. Paul is writing to the church in Corinth, and they're having a desperate time getting along. And so Paul and all of 1 Corinthians are saying, do this, take it like this. This is way you'll solve the dilemma of who goes first, who's most important, who's most gifted. And he gives them lots of advice, and then in this chapter he says, what I want you to do now is come with me to the pinnacle of what relationships can be like in terms of love. And I was thinking about that just a little bit today, and they're building a 7-story condo by our house. I saw the marketing views, like they have the pictures of the view to market. It's a panoramic view. And Paul is inviting, I think, those people there and us as well to sort of just go up to the pinnacle view of God and God's love, and to sort of shoot for that. And so that ties really within to the next passage, 1 John 4, because that speaks of the love that Paul is talking about. And of course, I know you guys know that that has to do with agape, and that is that incredible, almost incomprehensible ability to love, regardless of the condition of that person or thing, even that thing or person is in, so that you offer love despite the capacity of that person to love you back, which is a great kind of love and one that God showed us. And that love is the essence of God. So that when we're married, which was really exciting to me, when we do love right, what we're doing is completing the process that God extended to us within love. So we're completing the God kind of love that He gave to us, which is most evident, I think, in marriage and it can be. And it's just a powerful thing. So when we get married, Jonathan and Sheri, as you are getting married at this time, the notion of love is exhibiting that kind of God-centered love. And that's the pinnacle to strive for. It means that you'll look to God as the source of your love, to Jesus. When you feel frustrated, then God has got to be there, and you need to look to God. It means to help and comfort each other. I love the word kindness. Kindness means activities of doing good for another person. It means to give loving and tender expression to the gifts and abilities that you guys have. And I don't know you as well as I hope to know you, but you guys, I know, have incredible gifts and abilities. So love seeks to pull that out and not to dampen it. And that's in the past. It means you long to provide a secure environment for any children that you might have. That's a part of that. And it also means that you desire to contribute and impact society in a God-centered way with His love. Marriage, to me, is not just a relationship, it's a mission. It's a mission of God, commissioned to both of them. And it means that you will laugh together and hang out together and be friends with one. And that might be one of the most important things. So I'm going to actually ask you just a question of commitment before you do your vows. And it goes something like this. Do you believe in these biblical principles for marriage? And are you willing to commit yourself to live as best you can these principles? Sheri? Okay, I'd ask you now just to offer your vows to one another. Jonathan, you go first. Okay, you should either repeat them or if you'd rather say them, that's fine. Okay, that's yours actually. And I'm going to ask you guys, I'll hold them for you. You guys hold hands. I'll be as unobtrusive as I can. Oh, yeah.
You know who you are. Yay!
Yeah. I jump take you, Sheri, awfully wedding life, knowing that in my heart will be no constant friend, my faithful partner in life, and my one true love. On this special day, I affirm to you in the presence of God and these witnesses, my pledge to stay by your side as your faithful husband in sickness and health, in joy and sorrow, as well as through the good times and the bad. I promise to love you without reservation, honor and respect you, provide for your needs as best I can, protect you from harm, comfort you in distress, grow with you in mind and spirit, be always open and honest with you, and cherish you for as long as we both shall live.
Do I just say deal?
Yeah.
What he said. Names reversed.